Of course, it's not the first time we're talking about data privacy and protection. Of course, the bill was passed in 2019, but right now the regulations have been passed. So what does this mean for Kenyans?
Number one, Kenyans will have to give consent. The issue around consent is now very important, so that as a data subject, I am able to give consent to data collectors, data controllers, and data processors in terms of how they use my data as a Kenyan, how they process my data as a Kenyan. So the issue of consent has been captured very well by the regulations that have just come into force. The other issue is the commercialization of data that is collected from Kenyans. For the first time, we see that data processors, data controllers are not able to commercially use personal data collected from Kenyans, either Kenyan citizen or even companies. The other issue that has been captured by the regulations is the impact assessment, such that before a data processor or a data controller collects data, they have to conduct what we call a data impact assessment.
So George, there's another issue where Kenyans are lodging complaints that there are particular persons who reach out to them claiming they're working for a particular company and that they've gotten their data from their database. So is this criminal? Can you lodge a complaint against a particular person for claiming that they've gotten their information about you from their database?
Definitely that's a serious breach. When citizens receive anonymous messages, and any Kenyan who has received such kind of messages, then the cure has been presented by the regulations where you can lodge a complaint, an official complaint with the ODPC, and the ODPC is mandated by law to listen to that complaint and get a solution. Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's a critical point that you mentioned, that one can lodge a complaint, but of what benefit or to what extent can the data subject benefit from lodging a complaint?
What is there is that if a violation has been established, then we are talking about fines. The data processor or the data controller will be fined, so the regulations provide for that. And the data subject will be compensated, especially if it is established that a right has indeed been violated. It can either be monetary, it can either be restoring, being compelled through an order to do an act that will restore the data subject to the position which the data subject was before that infringement occurred.
It's been a matter of public debate, of course, how rogue debt collectors manipulate their clients into repaying their debts. Of course, not the best means. Is this a data privacy breach? Can one lodge a complaint that they are being harassed by a rogue debt collector?
The rogue debt collectors, however much the act says that it also protects somebody who is trying to go for a legitimate claim, somebody who is pursuing a legal claim. So those are some of the exemptions, because also the regulations have given some exceptions. And if it is pursuing a legal claim, something that is provided for in law, then the data can be shared from one organization to another or one individual to another, because then the reason for sharing that data of a data subject would be pursuing a legal claim. Otherwise, if that person is not pursuing a legal claim, then definitely they are in serious breach of the Data Protection Act.
With the rise of political temperatures in the country and of course political parties cropping up left, right and center, there's the issue of persons finding out that they've been registered to political parties that they are not even affiliated to. So does the new regulation speak on this? What does the new regulation speak about this?
The Act and the regulations themselves have given Kenyans now a breath of new life, and they're telling Kenyans that should you find yourself in such circumstances, then you have the right, because the regulations are given the rights of data subjects. And one of those rights is that if there is information there that is misleading about a data subject, then a data subject has the right to have that information rectified or seek legal redress as to how that data was leaked to a data controller or a data processor.
Finally, for the Kenyans who are watching and have still not understood what the data protection regulations are all about, what are your last words about that?
The issue of privacy is key when it comes to data protection and data privacy. And when you talk about privacy, it means that the data subject does not want their data or information to be in the public domain. So this issue around data protection and the data privacy stems from the concept of privacy, which is very key and fundamental, provided for under Article 31 of the Constitution of Kenya. So every Kenyan has got a right of privacy, and every Kenyan has got a right to have some control over their personal data.
Thank you so much, George, for allowing us to have this interview.